The Gaza Strip, a small but densely populated region, has once again become the epicenter of intense conflict between Israel and Hamas. Starting from early April 2024, Israel initiated what it termed a limited operation aimed at targeting Hamas's military infrastructure. This operation comes in response to the increased rocket fire from Gaza into Israeli territories, which has disrupted daily life across southern Israel. Israel's government has emphasized that their military actions are precise and focused, intending to minimize civilian casualties and avoid a full-scale war. They have communicated this strategy to international bodies, including the United States, assuring that the operations are in direct response to threats and not an escalation towards greater conflict. These assurances are crucial in maintaining international support, particularly from key allies like the US. Despite these assurances, the situation on the ground remains tense and unpredictable. Daily life in the region is heavily impacted, with both sides suffering casualties. The international community watches closely, hoping that this limited operation does not evolve into a larger conflict, echoing the painful memories of past confrontations in the region. The conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza has deep historical roots dating back several decades. Hamas, a Palestinian Islamist political organization and militant group, has controlled Gaza since 2007. This control followed a violent conflict with the Fatah party, leading to a split in Palestinian governance between Gaza and the West Bank. Israel, viewing Hamas as a terrorist organization, has enforced a blockade on Gaza, aiming to prevent the influx of weapons. The blockade and subsequent military actions have been sources of significant humanitarian concern and have sparked numerous confrontations over the years. These confrontations are often characterized by cycles of violence, including rocket attacks from Gaza and retaliatory strikes by Israel. Each cycle of violence exacerbates the humanitarian situation in Gaza and increases international scrutiny of Israel's policies. Understanding this historical context is crucial for comprehending the current dynamics and the persistent state of tension between Israel and Hamas. The history explains not only the immediate reactions and decisions made by both sides, but also the profound mistrust and hostility that complicate efforts towards peace and reconciliation. The ongoing conflict in Gaza has a profound impact on communities on both sides of the border. In Israel, the constant threat of rocket fire from Gaza leads to frequent red alerts and disruptions in daily life. Schools close, businesses suffer, and the psychological toll on citizens, especially children, is significant. Communities near the Gaza border live in a state of high alert, with bomb shelters being a grim necessity. In Gaza, the impacts are even more severe due to the dense population and the blockade's constraints. Military operations, even when targeted, often result in civilian casualties and significant damage to infrastructure. The already dire humanitarian situation is compounded by new waves of displacement and a deteriorating public health environment. Access to basic necessities like clean water, electricity, and medical care is severely restricted. For both communities, the recurring cycles of violence foster a pervasive atmosphere of fear and hopelessness, complicating any efforts towards peace and mutual understanding. The long-term psychological impacts are profound, affecting generations and perpetuating a cycle of grief and anger. Section 4. International reactions and future implications. The international community's response to the latest flare-up in Gaza has been mixed. While some countries and organizations have condemned Israel's military actions, others have underscored the right of Israel to defend itself against Hamas's rocket attacks. The United States, a key ally of Israel, has expressed support for Israel's right to security, but has also urged restraint and a focus on minimizing civilian casualties. The future implications of this conflict are deeply concerning. Experts fear that without a significant and sustained international effort to address the underlying issues, the cycle of violence will continue. This could lead to further radicalization on both sides and make any prospects for a lasting peace even more elusive. The need for a renewed focus on diplomatic solutions and humanitarian relief is more urgent than ever. In the meantime, the role of mediators such as Egypt and Qatar in facilitating ceasefires and negotiations will be crucial. Their ability to negotiate with both Israel and Hamas could pave the way for more substantial discussions on peace and security in the region. Section 5. Conclusion. The limited operation by Israel in Gaza is a response to immediate security threats, but is set against a backdrop of a long-standing and deeply entrenched conflict. While aimed at de-escalating the current situation, the operation reflects the complex and painful history between Israel and Hamas. For both communities affected by the conflict, the path to peace remains fraught with challenges. The international community must play a more active role in fostering dialogue and pushing for a resolution that addresses the core issues at stake. Without this, the cycle of violence is likely to continue, with each phase further diminishing the hopes for a peaceful and prosperous future for all involved. In conclusion, it is clear that while military responses can temporarily suppress violence, the true resolution lies in a concerted and sincere international effort to tackle the underlying political, social, and economic issues that fuel this enduring conflict.